Fugu is a fish caught off the Pacific shores of Japan. The poison resides in the sexual glands of the fish, inside two fragile bags. In preparing the fish, these bags must be removed with caution. Friendly clumsiness will result in the poison leaking into the veins. Regrettably, it is not easy to tell whether or not this operation has been carried out successfully. The proof is, as it were, in the eating. Fugu poisoning is hideously painful and almost always fatal. If the fish has been eaten during the evening, the victim is usually overtaken by pain during his sleep. He rolls about in agony for a few hours and is dead by morning. The fish became extremely popular in Japan after the war. His name was Hiroyuki, which means widespread happiness and joy. Interestingly enough, however, the name couldn't be further from how his life had actually been. He spent his whole childhood stuck in the suburbs of Kamakura district, never being allowed to go anywhere other than school or the This situation led to the separation of the family. 5 years after he moved to the US, Hiroyuki got a call from his father, telling him that his mother had died. He later learned she had died of fugu poisoning. 2 years later, he finally managed to come back to Japan.
Did you eat on the plane?
They gave me a little snack. I'm sorry to hear about the firm.
In fact, it didn't end there. Watanabe killed himself after the firm's collapse. He didn't wish to live with the disgrace. We were partners for 17 years. I respected him very much. A man of principle and honor.
Will we go into business again?
I am in retirement now. I'm too old to involve myself in new ventures. Business these days has become so different. Dealing with foreigners, doing things their way. I don't understand how we've come to this. Neither did Watanabe, a man of principle and honor. I'm glad in any case that you've decided to come back. More than a short visit, I hope.
I'm not sure what my plans will be.
I, for one, am ready to forget the past. Your mother, too, was always ready to welcome you back. I have come to realize now that there were no evil intentions in your mind. You were swayed by certain influences. Like so many others. Marty? At last, Kikuko has arrived.
Hiroyuki! You're finally here!
I must attend supper. Please excuse me for being burdened down by such matters. Kikuko will look after you. Won't you, Kikuko?
I've been dying for a smoke for the last half hour.
Then why didn't you smoke? Oh, I see.
Guess what? Got a boyfriend now.
Oh, yes? I thought that you were gay, I guess.
I haven't made up my mind yet.
Oh, quite understandable.
Well, he's making plans to go to America. And he wants me to go with him as soon as I finish studying.
I see. And do you want to go to America?
If we're going to hitchhike. People say it's dangerous, but I've already done it in Osaka and it's fine.
Okay, so what is it that you're unsure about?
Well, as you know, I've got lots of friends in Osaka, and I'm not sure if I want to leave them behind just yet. And I'm not sure as well if I want to spend so much time with them. Do you understand?
Yes, perfectly.
Do you remember I used to tell me this well was haunted?
Yes, I remember.
Mother always told me it was that old woman from the vegetable store. I never really believed her, and I never came out here alone.
Mother used to tell me that too. She even told me once that the old woman had confessed to being the ghost. Apparently she had been taking a shortcut through our garden. I imagine she had a hard time clambering over these walls.
Mother never really blamed you, know. She used to tell me how it was all their fault, hers and father's, for not bringing you up correctly. She used to say how much more careful they'd been with me, and that's why I was so good and so much better than you. Poor mother.
Yes, poor mother.
So, are you going back to California?
I don't know, I'll have to see.
And what happened to her, to Vicky?
That's all finished with. I got nothing much more left for me now in California.
So, do you think I ought to go there?
I don't know, why not? You'll probably like it there. Perhaps we should go in and check if Father needs a hand with the supper.
Sure.
Where's your sister?
She's out picking some flowers, I guess.
I expect you want to look around the house. It's been a long time since you've last seen it. This house is too large for a man to live in alone. I don't have much use for most of these rooms now. Since the firm folded, I have a little more time on my hands. A little more time.
You were always so busy.
Too busy, perhaps. Perhaps I should have been a more attentive father. I hadn't meant to tell you this, but it's best that I do. It's my belief that your mother's death was no accident. She had many worries and some disappointments.
Surely my mother didn't expect me to live here forever.
Obviously you don't see. You don't see how it is for some parents. Not only must we lose our children, we must lose them to things we don't understand. This little boat here could have been better glued, don't you think?
Perhaps, but I think it's fine.
During the war, I spent much time on this ship, but my ambition was always the air. I figured it like this. If your ship was struck by the enemy, all you could do was struggle in the water, waiting and hoping for a lifeline. But in an airplane, well, there's always the final weapon. I don't suppose you believe in war.
Not quite.
Supper should be ready by now. You must be hungry.
It seems a bit undercooked.
It must feel strange for you, being back in Japan.
Yes, a little.
Already, perhaps, you regret leaving America.
No, I don't. I didn't leave much behind. Just some empty rooms.
I see.
Who is that in the photograph?
What photograph?
That one.
Your mother. Can't you recognize your own mother?
My mother. It was dark. I couldn't see very well.
Some more?
Is there enough?
There's plenty for us all. Here, you have these last pieces. Prepare the teapot, please. Let's retire to the garden. It's rather warm in here.
Father,
Yes?
Kikuku tells me Watanabe's son took his whole family with him.
Watanabe was very devoted to his work. The firm's collapse was a great blow to him. I fear it must have weakened his judgment.
Do you think what he did was a mistake?
Why, of course. Do you see it otherwise?
No, of course not.